has to be a public on the agenda, and here we have it. So if we're going to send a letter, I guess we have to have the public input and the motion by the board. So yeah, I guess that was a motion. Seconded by Commissioner Simon. I mean, at every level, we don't want this government. So
You've had enough discussions through the.
1 year.
Right,
yeah.
It's been on the agenda 3
Already
times,
went past.
and it says tax bill, so.
Yeah.
So then
And I would like,
And we did have
we
discussions
just put
on
it
it.
into one.
You did.
and I would make a recommendation also to,
So this is for a whole year.
Greg Chilcott, the chair
But I'm
of
asking
the
for
Oh,
coalition.
hold on, Mary's having trouble with your video. Okay, back up. What do you recommend, Lori? She couldn't hear over the voice.
I just made a recommendation that we send a copy of it to Greg Chilcott, the chair for the Coalition of Forested Counties.
So we've got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion regarding a letter that the Board of Commissioners are sending to the Secretary of Agriculture?
Well, what Mary was trying to explain is this for 1 year, this tax bill, or is it for back years? Just
No,
1
this
year?
is just 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are initiating it now. Yeah, it'd probably really be unpopular if we went retroactive.
It'd be a lot.
Well, and you can't,
40 years.
you can't.
Yeah,
Okay, that's what she
No.
was trying to explain.
no, it just, yeah, that's a 1-year tax bill for,
I think, from what you've heard in discussions in the previous weeks and then what's been discussed in the Forest Coalition meeting and everything, I think you have enough support that this, I think the county's behind it, and I think the county needs it financially. It's prudent to send it and to at least get the dialogue going.
Yeah, totally agree. And we should be able to back bill them too, because we've been stuck with it forever.
okay.
If that comes around at some point where they say, you are entitled, we'll just bang one right out.
And we're still in discussion mode. Mr. Reed, you had a point?
Well, I didn't know, wanted to grab your attention whether to make an appointment or something like that. I don't think it's gonna make, a lot of difference and stuff, but the pill payments are so totally inconsistent that I don't know if that's gonna make a difference. I mean, there's small counties without population, they're getting twice as much as Mineral County. There's counties with big populations that get less. I mean, and I know you're gonna talk to them about that and stuff, but I don't know if that would make any difference, because there's like a real rhyme or reason of why.
Well, isn't
how
Todd
they
Devlin?
calculate pill payments and stuff.
Well, right now Todd Devlin and I think Greg is looking at changing the formula. I mean, because the counties with smaller population is not receiving what they should be, and so they are in the process of redoing the formula.
Well, there's some counties that are receiving so much incredible money without any population. Teton County has 280,000 acres of public land, and I believe that they must be in the there's a few people in Teton County.
Yeah, they got Shoto.
But Teton County gets 674,000. Hell.
Well, we do address that in the letter, Tim, saying that the deal is bad and it needs to be renegotiated completely, if they want to go ahead with that.
Yeah, and I think those are the talking points that the Washington delegation needs to be aware of, and I think, this letter doesn't specifically address, but it alludes to it, and I think that's where, have to make sure that's brought up on the Senate floor or wherever the discussion is being made. And I think that's important for a little personal contact with Danes, if he's gonna carry it, to make sure that he does express that and looks into that. But I'm sure his aides will come up with some of those figures too, because that's that does show the inequality of what's happening with the funding.
It's hard to even get a clear printout of how the formula works.
But I think, you know, the nice thing, and it was to try and keep the letter fairly simple on one page, so it doesn't get too
Yep.
convoluted.
Right.
The sensible thing for them to do would be to combine Tilt and Superior Rural Schools and make it just like Tilt is, where you can use it in your general fund and not have all the restrictions. It's our money, you know?
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
tax money. I
They've
mean, it's-
redone things, 76, they redid things, in 2000, they redid things, so it's time to do it the right way.
Right. And they should factor in the percentage of public land in a county,
Yeah.
because that changes everything. When you're 82% public land, it's a completely different dynamic than 20 or 60 even.
And it wouldn't hurt to send some of those facts along.
I'm sure he has access to all of
Yeah,
them.
he does. But just
If you-
make sure,
if
make
you
sure it's
look.
referenced.
Mhm.
Well, I just, I just happened to look, I was curious about the acreage, the amount, and the population, and it's like, there's nothing consistent about it.
No.
No.
So, yeah, figuring out the formula and how to calculate it. It's been-
How much private land does Teton have? Does it say on that, Tim?
It doesn't say private land, it says
Yeah.
public land. But
It says the percentage of it that's public, or just
Well,
the number of acres?
I have to do a little bit of research, because in eastern Montana, your public land is BLM. And I don't know if there's a different formula for BLM, but it appears to be that there may be, so.
And that could be because grazing fees constantly generate an income. So it could have some relation to that,
Mineral leasing.
mineral and grazing.
Yeah.
But I think the public land in Teton County is mostly national forest.
It is in Teton, but Sheridan and Daniels and a couple of them making big payments, and
Oh, yeah, that's BLM.
but some of them in the central Montana have
Both.
Forest Service land both, so I don't.
Yeah, Fergus County, I think's got both.
Okay, so what do we do next then? Do we do,
So, yeah, we've got a
Sign it.
motion, and there's
Okay.
been discussion, and we'll, if there aren't any other
oh,
comments or questions, or,
I'm a little
then we
anxious.
can cast a vote. And so, and the motion that you made, Lori, is to sign the letter that is authored by the second one, okay. All right, is there any
An
other
official pin.
concerns, questions, discussion? Okay, all in favor of the motion to send this letter to the Secretary of Agriculture, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Okay,
That's the official pin.
okay.
Could I,
I'll have to use
could
your
you
letter for the official letter.
scoot in beside Roma? I want to get a picture of this.
Oh.
to commemorate the day.
This is it.
Where's the
This
jug of
was
whiskey, Dwayne?
before money.
This is
We'll take it after
historic.
money.
This is historic.
Oh, okay, we better hold it up.
But if I can get this to go right. Okay.
Put that in the newspaper for you.
Put your pen to the paper.
Oh, put the pen to the paper, okay.
Let me get just a little. Okay. Now you can sign it. I'll watch you sign.
Oh, oh, you're videoing it, huh?
No, just.
So who all is gonna get copied on that letter? You mentioned Chilcott.
Senator Daines, Tester,
Gianforte, Bullock.
And then
Great, Chilcott.
Jennifer,
Chilcott and Jennifer Fielder.
yeah. Because Jennifer attended, she wanted to get a copy. Yeah. Did you see the letter yet?
Yeah, I-
Okay, oh, okay. Everyone got one?
Okay,
I may send that to Kathleen.
Oh, Mary
What's that?
did?
I may send that to Kathleen.
Oh, picture?
Put it on
As long as it turned out good.
and then Casey's got the
How do I
original
look?
tax bill. that
I'm
you
not
proposed
gonna
on.
look right now.
Yes.
Thank you.
So what do you need me to do?
So if you just want to.
Bring it down to my granddaughter,
Oh, yes,
she'll put it
thank
on.
you.
the
Thank you.
record.
You just want to follow the address.
Fill this out?
Yeah, and then Casey's got a commissioner stamp. We'll
Go on the return address?
The other thing is,
Okay.
Carol, I wonder if we should ask Ron Catlett to see
If he can pick it up or we
what's the
can,
best way, if we should have him give it to him to make sure that Danes actually gets it.
yeah, he wanted it hand delivered to him, so.
To Danes.
Yes.
So that's what I was wondering, if maybe we shouldn't send it to Ron.
Well, let's
Well, make
call
sure it
Ron. So we shall see. So in the meantime,
Yeah, we can still.
I'm filling out. Okay.
Yeah, maybe just have, Casey can scan it and email it to Greg.
You got the original, you've still got the original, Casey's got the original.
No, no, it's right there.
Oh, okay. No, I see.
And she's got copies. Casey, you have copies of the tax bill already, right?
Yeah.
So you don't need to make more, or before we stick it in an envelope?
Well, I can make copies if you need to fax it or whatever.
To scan it so that you
Email to
can
Greg and explain what we're
attach
doing.
it to the letter
And
to
maybe
send
he
to some
can send
people
it out to
who
the other
don't need to get it
counties,
snailed
Thurston
mail.
counties or whatever, and see if they want to maybe possibly do the same thing.
Yeah.
So this goes to, is it like,
For the 10 o'clock meeting on the agenda, which is
okay, that's where I
the,
left the message.
we're here with our safety manual review and update with safety coordinator, Ashley Blaylock. Hello, hello.
Hey. All right. So I met with Amelia from Mako in January to go over kind of everything that was expected of me, and she expressed some concerns about no safety policy,
Oh.
and we have one. It just hasn't been adopted, so that's not all bad. And then action plans and trainings. So the trainings that she listed that are annual, like you have to do them annually, the county's expected to provide them, are bloodborne pathogen, chainsaw operations, emergency action plans, hazard communications, hearing conservation, respiratory protection, safety policies and awareness, and slips, trips, and falls. So these are law, and it reduces accidents.
Mhm.
So
So you can rattle them off. How many are there? One?
there's 8.
8?
And the cool thing is they're provided online,
Mm-hmm.
and I can email them directly to employees.
Yeah. The one that you like, the chainsaw operation would mainly be the road department.
Yeah, so yeah, like
One would hope.
offices, offices shouldn't have to take that. Yeah, might be interesting. Huh?
Or the commissioners when it comes to budget cutting time.
There you go.
I see
And your
chains on
maintenance
it.
person here in the yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Planned
exciting.
maintenance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
The road maintenance get hit pretty hard with these.
Okay.
Feeling okay.
So, also, Casey and I did some department evaluations, which is expected of safety coordinator, and it was pretty good. Everybody's office looks great. Yeah, there was just concerns expressed by employees about the vaults. So there's a little lip when you walk into the vault.
Oh.
So having like something there to prevent
Bright
from
orange
trips.
tape. or-
Yeah. And then also window tints in the justice court. Because they're right on the floor there. Where we can see in
Oh,
their
where
windows.
everybody can spot
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but otherwise everything looked really well. We didn't make it over to the library, the health department, or the road department yet.
Mhm.
But on some of our correspondence with insurance is Payne West is actually coming out the 27th of this month to do a shop evaluation with me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's cool. And we actually had Amelia back out here on the 6th to do some office ergonomics, which was really interesting. Not every department participated, which was fine, but she talked about how to be more comfortable in your seat while you're sitting at the computer and stuff that we can do. So that was really cool. I have the safety manual also that I would like you guys to take a look at. It's not quite done because Section 11 is all about our policies and our action plans, and they're in the works. It's just they don't tailor quite to our county, so I still need to work on that. And my goal is to have them done in April or May, and then this policy, if it's possible, to have it adopted by the end of this month. Yeah, so I'll just leave that.
So we'll just kind of peruse that.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
If satisfactory, we'll have a motion and adopt it by the end of the month.
That would be great. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So my goals are to have this manual adopted in March, the end of March.
Okay.
Create those programs such as hazard communications, hearing conservation, fire, and active shooter.
No.
And those sort of things, have those completed by April or May. And then May and June start the actual trainings. Yeah.
Is Mako or Amelia have active shooter training?
No, I actually asked the sheriff's department to help me with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But we're trucking.
We do have a sign that says no weapons, isn't that good enough?
Yeah, there you go. If everybody listens, then yeah, that's good enough.
If the bad guys know how to read.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all I've got so far.
Okay.
So
But-
the slips, trips, and falls part of that, have you worked with Joel at all? Like with getting salt down and?
I haven't
He's done
tackled
a pretty
it.
good job, but
Yeah,
it seems like
yeah.
every year there's somebody slips someplace.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know there was one this year.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've had thoughts about it, but I haven't said anything about training yet because I don't really have much of a backbone
Yeah.
to stand on with no policy. So
yeah. And then I guess what was going through my head was then it's always hard to train for it when there isn't any snow.
Yeah, that's
You know?
true. That's true.
Snow and ice.
Yeah, our policy
But-
actually has a section that involves weather, like heat, and that really goes to Joel's department as
It
well.
would be interesting to see like a cost analysis of how much salt costs compared to what the medical bill
Yeah,
on
sure.
somebody falling down.
Yeah.
I mean, he does a real good job getting the salt down, but it seems like there's always some place that gets.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave these with you, and you guys can look through them. And if there's anything that doesn't work, tell me, and I'll fix it.
Oh. And thanks for working on it for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, it was pretty easy because it was already there. It just needed a little tweaked.
Well, the inspection.
Yeah.
And communication
Yeah.
with Amelia.
Yeah, she's been really fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's super fun. Yeah, so thanks for
Okay.
your time.
Thank you. Yeah. 11:30. Well, here we are with public comment, and we have two publics in the room.
You go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You sure?
And now we have an argument with the public comment.
I
It's got a
know.
variety of announcements, so go ahead.
Okay, well, I just kind of, I have a short one too. I just wanted to kind of update you guys on where, so yeah, duck, here it comes. Woo. Actually, I'm gonna bring it down so you can see it better. This is one of the options for the bricks that will be available for the brick project to raise money for the
Cool.
historical monument. Yeah, it's kind of neat the way these laser do it. I don't know.
Who does that?
They laser put that
No,
in.
I say who?
Oh, it's called Laser Impressions.
Huh.
The brick company that's helping me with the campaign for raising the money for the monument.
Did they say how well it wears when they?
They said that's very durable, very durable. More so than the way they used to do it is actually dig it out, sandblast it out.
Oh, so
that,
kind of like almost embossed.
yeah, it's sandblasted, but they would fill with dirt and debris, and some of the smaller letters could chip out of it. So this is actually a better way to go.
Final design.
That's one of the options for the brick. That's just option 3. And so I actually have, hopefully, you might be interested in buying the brick. But there are 3 options to the brick, and that is option 3. If you didn't want to say anything, or if you were buying more than one and had something to say on one and wanted to donate money for another, you could pick that as an option. I'm calling it a charm brick. But the first option is all characters, and there's an example up there. And then this one's kind of neat because it has clip art. These are the clip art options, and we have one for each military service there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for even Coast Guard.
All right.
And a flag and a couple other, we have 4-H on there, and paw prints for. So you could pick a clip art, and then you have some spaces for characters too.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Does any
so,
of it say Mineral County? Because it's kind of a county thing, isn't
you
it?
could, well, Superior County,
I mean, it's county land and it's county history, isn't it?
But the box
Right.
enables you to put whatever, you can put in memory of Kepke family or something.
yeah.
Oh, I see.
Or you
Yeah.
could put the Kepke family,
Okay, so you did, all right.
you could put whatever you want.
You can put Mineral County. Yeah, it's like, yeah. Or if your grandpa died, or
But the interpretive part of it will emphasize Mineral County.
the statue.
Right, the statute
This is just
itself.
brick, paving bricks that can go around it.
Donated
And
bricks,
for like,
okay.
say, $50 or whatever, then
Right.
you can buy a brick and have your name or your family's name or whatever you, and if your grandpa was in the army, then you can even add the little
Yeah,
insignia
the
of the
little-
army in there.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And so this is gonna say Superior Montana Mineral County on the top of this saw blade.
Okay, we'll include Mineral County though.
It will,
Okay.
it will. This was just a rough draft, and that's another thing I wanted to let you know, is I have an artist, a fine drawing artist, working on, I mean, it's gonna be the same setup, except he's gonna detail it a little bit more, so, because this was just Dennis's rough drawing, you know, and he's a metal artist, and so I have someone working on that now, and I'll bring that back to you guys so that hopefully that'll be in the paper, the one that will give a better representation of it, you know, because this is not filled in like it's going to be with bark. You know, the bark is going to be pieces of metal and stuff. So it's kind of hard. You have to use your imagination a little bit more with this. Hopefully the artist will come up with a little finer drawing of it. So,
So the brick pavers, is this the joint venture with the Historical Society, or is it separate? Are they gonna do their own?
the Historical Society did not want to be, I think, a part of the fundraising
Oh, okay.
thing. What I'm hoping they will, I'm gonna talk to them at their next meeting.
Mhm.
I'm hoping they will take up the gauntlet with telling the story.
Mhm.
Once it's up in place, then having the story told by
Mhm.
them. I mean, they're the experts at
Mhm.
what pictures would be appropriate and sort of the
Mhm.
wording, you know, about how we started and,
Mhm.
you know, so I'm hoping to talk to them a little bit more, and I'm hoping they'll decide to be a part of that. So, yeah, so that's where we are, and, you know, we just got started with the bricks. I've sold about 15 so far, so we've got a ways to go, but there are only 370 that we are gonna sell, so.
Okay.
Anyway, so I will leave one of these with each of you, so you
All
can, you can decide, think about it if you want. And anyone else that wants one? It gives you all the scoop on how to make out the check, and you can mail it, or if you see me, or just, you know, however you want to do it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. And so we'll just keep you posted on how that goes. And when I get well, you'll probably see it in the paper, but this is kind of just how the bricks might be laid in bricks here. You know, just an example of how they might be laid in around the base of the statue. So, or monument. Yeah, so anyway, I'll keep you posted, and if you have any questions, certainly my phone number's there.
Okay.
Thank you for your support and your.
All right.
All
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, yeah.
So- All right, you're up. You're next. Okay.
Hang on the table.
Yeah.
No, not quite. I've got a few other alligators.
Okay.
Okay, just general announcements of upcoming events. Okay, tomorrow is the last of the community potlucks at 4-H. And the topics will be, Laurel Chambers will be there to talk about maybe fitness related. It could be the hospital hike season coming up. I'm not sure exactly what her topic is. And then Janet Smith will be there to talk about fitness and yoga.
Mhm.
That's the topics I hear. Okay, 6 o'clock at the 4-H. I won't be here next Friday, so I'm announcing the annual St. Patrick's Dinner and Dance in St. Regis.
And that'll be on Saturday the 17th.
Right, it's a family-friendly, live music. We supply corned beef and cabbage, people bring something to share. It's just a real, kind of a friendly family fellowship there. Local music.
That starts at
And
5 or 6, or?
It starts at 6.
Question.
Mhm.
Is it true St. Regis is renaming itself to St. Patty Day?
I hadn't heard that one.
Oh, I seen something on the,
Or was there something on Facebook? Yeah. Oh,
I think it came from one of the news stations or something.
oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, actually, DeBoers is having 2 St. Patrick's Day gatherings.
Really?
The old schoolhouse, we'll support the old schoolhouse. And then the Black Diamond Ranch is offering some kind of
Oh, really?
something. I'm not sure what the details are. I've seen both of those posted around. Yeah.
Is the Oasis doing something they do?
Well, the schoolhouse is doing it.
School.
Oasis, I don't know if they are having any specials.
Sometimes they do.
They might do some special too, yeah. So it'll be hopping out there. But Friday the 16th, you've got the flyer there for the Performing Arts Spring Gala.
Mhm.
I've got tickets for that. Some of the other people that are listed there have tickets. You can get tickets at the store, and it should be a really nice evening. Okay, it's a folksy music. Okay, it's a group from West, my friend. Yeah, the flyers are all around, so those are always a lot of fun. And then going further out, sometime in April, the St. Regis Community Council will host a candidate forum for the school board candidates out there.
Oh. Are there
Sometime
quite a
in
few
April.
running? How many are running?
4?
At least 4 are running for 2 positions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then we're just kind of getting the ball started here for a forum for the hospital board elections.
Mhm.
That'll be April 18th
Hmm.
at the elementary multipurpose, well, one of the multipurpose rooms. I'm not sure which one. It'll be at the school on the evening of the 18th, April 18th. That's the date that the ballots will be mailed out for those, for the school election and the hospital election. And since there's so much interest in the hospital board, 9 people vying for 4 positions.
Wow.
Mm.
There are 4 incumbents running and 5 challengers.
Wow.
So there's a lot of interest in that this year. So the chamber will have the lead on it with some of us other volunteers. Put on a forum for about 2.5 hours, starting at 6 on that date. So it'll be publicized as we get closer with more details. Okay. Also, the first week of April will be our community choir Easter cantata. We're not sure which day, but it'll be promoted too. And that'll be in the LDS church, if you're so inclined for choral music.
Mhm. Wow.
So,
What's happening?
Busy.
oh yeah, it's gonna be busy from now on. All the community events, just kind of roll. 31st will be Easter egg hunts here in St. Regis. Easter's on the 1st.
If it's not snowing.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, they had to dig
Yeah.
a little bit. My kids love that anyway.
Yeah, we just
They don't mind.
hope the snow is out of the park at St. Regis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stays like this, it will be.
Yeah. Still corn. Still corn.
So that's all I had, unless you got any questions about St. Regis. Let's see, we're having a big car show meeting in here Sunday or not in here, it's over at the Whipped Up Restaurant. Car show committee. a big one, it'll be a good one this year. Since Mike Curtin took it over, we've kind of revived it. When the Community Foundation had it, we aren't car people and we just didn't have the contacts. But Mike has really done a great job of promoting it.
Good.
And there was an announcement on did it come through the commissioners or through the chamber? It must have come through the chamber email string, inviting people to join us for the committee meeting on Sunday. The date of the car show is Friday night, June 1st is the cruise and early registration, and Saturday will be the full car show.
And are they gonna still have the sock hop? They were gonna try, Whipped Up was gonna try to do the sock hop.
Whipped Up was going to try to pull together a Friday night sock hop. Yeah. So we'll see if they get that together. Right. So you'll start seeing some promotional materials for that too.
And can you say again on my calendar, what date was that hospital board meeting forum
April 18th.
at the location again? Was it-
It's one of the school multi-purpose rooms over here.
Okay.
I'm not positive which one. I misspoke about the spring gala. This is our sit-down meal. So it's at the elementary multi-purpose room, spring gala on the 16th. And Superior Meats will be catering it. and-
That's on March 16th.
March 16th, yeah. I mentioned it was at the LDS because our regular concerts are at the LDS. But, right, spring gala at the elementary.
And that's the one with the Canadian group?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got too many schedules in my head.
What time's that hospital forum? Did it say?
The what?
The hospital forum?
Oh, yeah, what time is that hospital forum on that?
It'll be 6 o'clock that evening.
Okay.
The senior supper is prior to that, so those folks start at 4:30, so they'll all be done and available if they want to attend.
And then just, go ahead.
Quick thing, I like it. The only question is, if there's non-payment, what are you proposing to do? Sell the property? Who has the deed?
Repossess it.
Repossess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, mainly it's, we know that it's kind of a shot in the dark to really make any true change, but it's mainly to get the conversation going.
I understand.
Senator Daines thought it would really be interesting.
I
for him.
understand that. I love it. It's something I would have done.
Mhm.
But,
And we take that as a compliment.
absolutely. Well, Party Chairman Mao said it all. All power grows out the muzzle of a gun. Whoever has the biggest gun wins.
How about the biggest nuclear button?
That too.
So, and Mr. Schultz, I was just gonna tell our other two publics here that
Yeah.
the only thing, if anybody's kind of interested, I know Mr. Kepke generally are, but it's gonna be in March on the 23rd, we have our big powwow, annual powwow meeting with the Department of Transportation here, so that's when we'll be talking about things like the South Side Road and the potholes, and any other road maintenance issues, or they give us an update of what they're gonna do with the interstates and maybe timings of road closures and construction zones. But if you guys have anything that you think the Department of Transportation, a bridge, a road, or what have you, they'll be down on that day.
Is anybody worried about the road over there from Trout Creek to Lozo?
We have our first committee meeting on
I thought there was something called a prescribed
The
right-of-way,
26th.
that you cannot, whether your property is on the
Prescriptive
road,
use.
on both sides or not, if it's been trespassed on for years, you cannot, you cannot halt traffic.
Anyway, a bunch of us are getting together on the 26th of March to.
In this room here.
Yeah.
All right,
So come over to that, Jim.
and this was the one that caught my.
You might make friends.
I still think you should send a notice to them stating, you failed to make payment at such time, we will be forced to liquidate the property.
There you go.
Liquidate.
Sell it on the county
Or-
steps of the
Yeah.
courthouse.
There you go.
We will liquidate it before you incinerate it. All right, any other public comment before we adjourn for lunch? All right.